Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Raghujan, and I'm going to talk about how to work with uh, the deployment descriptor, uh, with the servlets and JSPs. So this is the deployment descriptor. It's a web.xml file, and it usually stays in the web.inf file. And using the web XML, using the deployment descriptor, you can do a lot of things. And like uh, you can let the non-coders to work um, with without uh, digging into the serverlets and all these deep stuffs. And yeah, so there are so many stuffs to do with the deployment descriptor. um, it also makes a huge impact to the security side, and there are so many stuff. Um, so yeah, so using the deployment descriptor, you can set global values that every servlet or every JSP can handle. So to do that, you can create these. You have to create these tag called the context param. Inside the context param, you have to set the name. It's like key value, so you have to set the key as a scope name, and you have to set the value as the global scope. So whenever whenever a server tries to get the value to get the value to get this value, it has to call uh, by its param name. It's like calling its key. So whenever the key is when you know the key, you can get the value. Same goes to this concept as well. And there are two context params, which mean there are two values that are global. So each servlet or each servlet and each JSP can get these values. And here you can see I created a welcome file list tag, and inside the welcome file list I created welcome file, and this one is the password.jsp. So we in this case, so whenever I run the server, the password.jsp will be the first one. uh, this is the one, this JSP is the one that will be appear. So let me show it. So I'm gonna stop the server. I'm gonna rerun, and you can see the password. Your password is not 123, which means this is the uh, this is the JSP page that I put text as your password is not 123, the password.jsp. So this is how it goes. So you can see um, I didn't put any uh, name or anything apart from the application name. So yeah, so that's how to use um, the welcome file list. Also here you can see the servlet tag, which means what I want to do is you can do you can set values only that specific server can use, and also you can set the server specific name. So you don't have to call by the server's actual path. You can call do stuffs with the serverlet's name. So here uh, to this servlet, the rack servlet, I gave a name called rackj and servlet. So using this servlet name, I can set URL patterns, different URL patterns for the same server. So to this name, this servlet name, uh, set the URL pattern as called rackback2, and also another servlet mapping is going here, which is the same servlet name and the same but different another URL pattern, which is just rackback, and rackback and rackback2 will call the same So if I type right back, also it says hello right server ABC, and if I go and type if I visit to drag back 2, it'll give me the same, because these are two uh, these two uh, URL paths represent the same server. So that's how it goes. Here you can set the values for that specific server only, so the other servers, so other JSPs cannot access that specific values. To do that, you have to create this init param tags, and inside this init param you have to set the name. So this name, whenever you can get the value using this name, so and then after that you have to set the value. So rack server, the name of the servlet is rack servlet, and also I created another one which is number of servlets, which this is and the value is 22. So if I go to rack servlet and I get the I try to get the name uh, here, I try to get the name of the servlet, name of servlet. It's from the get server config, which will only belongs to will be only accessible to the rack servlet. So here it says hello, and it gave the rack servlet, and yeah, and also here I typed the ABCD is it's just inside this, and here I got the attributes, uh, all the attributes, and to print out, and yeah, that's also unnecessary. And here you can see I'm trying to get the servlet context, a value from the servlet context. So to do that, I call the get server context, and I get the init parameter name. I put the init parameter name, so it will it will return the output uh, value that belongs to this parameter scope name. So if I go to scope name, uh, yeah, so it should output global scope. So here it says the global scope of a server context is the global scope. So this is what I printed in here. Scope of a server context is, and the value that represents this value that represented by this name, so scope name, so global scope. And yeah, and here also the same, I printed out the same scope name. So if I go to rag alt is the path. So if I go to rag alt, also it printed out the same this global scope, the value. And yeah, and if I try to go to and if I try to create if I try to do the same with the JSP called ddjsp.jsp, and if you see I'm trying to get the value of this parameter, your actual name. So if I go to the context parameter, you see that your actual name and the value is John Marshall. So let's go to this JSP called ddjsp.jsp. So go um, let's get it from here, ddjsp dot. So you should say your actual name is John Marshall, right? So yeah, so that's how it goes. Also, you can set a different URL using the same way how we did with servlet mapping, and you can do the same to JSP as well. So yeah, so that's how it goes. So we have look how to work with the servlet mappings and the servlets and the servlets init params, and here welcome file list and the context param. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.